Every construction project carries a risk. Deadlines can be missed, budgets can spiral, and sometimes contractors simply fail to deliver what they promised. But how do employers protect themselves when the unexpected happens? One of the most common safeguards in construction is the use of a performance bond. Hello and welcome to Blackstone Solicitors channel. Today we're unpacking performance bonds in construction. We'll look at what they are, why they matter, and how they work in practice. If you're a developer, a contractor, or a funder, this is a subject you'll want to understand. A performance bond is essentially a financial guarantee. It's usually provided by a bank or an insurer on behalf of a contractor, promising that if the contractor fails to meet their obligations under the contract, the employer can call on the bond to recover losses. In other words, it's a safety net designed to protect the employer if things go wrong. In practice, performance bonds are especially useful because construction projects are high value and high risk. If a contractor becomes insolvent or simply fails to finish the job, the financial consequences for the employer can be severe. With a performance bond in place, there is a source of funds that can be drawn upon to help cover the costs of completing the project or remedying defective work. There are different types of performance bond. Some are on demand, meaning the employer can claim payment from the bond issuer simply by declaring that the contractor has defaulted, without having to prove the actual loss at that stage. Others are known as conditional or default bonds, which require the employer to establish that the contractor has genuinely failed to perform, and that financial loss has been suffered. The distinction between the two is important, and it can lead to significant disputes if the wording of the bond is not clear. English courts take performance bonds seriously, but they will always look closely at the wording. A poorly drafted bond may not provide the level of security the employer thought they had. Equally, contractors are often concerned about the risk of bonds being called unfairly, particularly in the case of on-demand bonds. This is why negotiating the terms carefully, with expert legal advice, is crucial. It's also worth noting that performance bonds are usually limited in value, typically around 10% of the contract sum. That means they are not designed to cover every possible loss, but rather to provide a meaningful cushion against the most serious financial risks. They are also normally time-limited, expiring after practical completion or a set period afterwards. Once again, the detail matters, and understanding exactly what a bond does and does not cover is essential. At Blackstone Solicitors, we advise both employers and contractors on performance bonds. For employers, we ensure that the bond provides the protection intended, and that it can be enforced if the worst happens. For contractors, we help manage the risks associated with giving bonds, making sure the obligations are fair and proportionate. In either case, the aim is to provide clarity and confidence so that the project can proceed smoothly. Performance bonds may not grab the headlines, but they play a vital role in construction projects across the country. They provide reassurance, balance the risks, and ultimately help to keep developments on track. If you are involved in a construction project and need advice on performance bonds, Blackstone Solicitors is here to guide you. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more useful legal tips. Thanks for watching.